Welcome back to the live again. But then this is a continuous coverage of things that's unfolding on the ground out here. We are now reporting from Porshore Road, another part of Howrah. There are multiple reports of violence coming in from Kolkata, sporadic events, and of course, incidents of violence being reported where people have tried taking out a rally on Strand Road. That report is also coming. We are trying to source those visuals. But from here, just to give you a sense as how tension is building up once again, just a short while back, in fact, not even 30 seconds back, these kind of have been hurled at police. And of course, the police people are now trying to push the crowd away. Look here, these are the kind of stones being hurled at police, and which was so far peaceful out here. All of a sudden, we saw stones being hurled all across. You find the stones strewn out here. These are all which have been hurled at police, and thereafter, the police people are trying to push the crowd away. Now, at this point in time, this Foreshore Road is a very crucial junction where you have multiple roads coming into this very junction. You have a road coming from that side. You have a road coming from that side. Again, over there, we do see some people. Forces are now trying that side. All right. So protesters are now being pushed back. Again, see, stones are being thrown. See, come. Stones are being thrown. The crowd is now throwing stones at the forces. They have tried shielding themselves with the. Okay, here, these are the stones which have been thrown. Okay, see, again, stones being thrown. Look. These are the kind of stones being thrown. This is being hurled right now, and the crowd being pushed back. So this is a very important junction, purely because you have got roads coming in from multiple directions, and there are lanes and by-lanes, and it's pretty easy to get caught into a situation. The crowd which had come from that side, they had tried assembling here. Similarly, crowd from the other side had tried assembling. Their forces are now being called. Okay, more forces are being called, and they are now trying to move that side. Over there, the protesters are still gathered, and they are trying to challenge the forces. Look, these, as I told you, there are lanes and by-lanes, so it is very easy to get caught into a situation. And at the moment, the forces are trying to ensure that the police people are trying to ensure the protesters are kept at bay. Now, these people have been asked to get back to their homes and clear the road. There are people. So the forces, police people are trying to get inside this very lane and clear the road. Just a short while back, we saw stones being hurled, bricks being hurled. This is one place where tear gas shells have not really been fired that much. In fact, we do see the crowd being pushed back. So yes, this is a crucial road. We will not venture inside because we need to be in a place from where we can get ourselves out at the earliest. So over here, normal pani ka bottle dijiye na. Over here, the crowd which has gathered, it is now been pushed aside, and thank you. The crowd has been pushed aside, and the forces are trying to ensure that the entire road stays sanitized, because the crowd is, the crowd is coming back. It is not an amorphous crowd. It is not an amorphous crowd. It seems like they are well organized. They are coming and they are going, and the fact that they are also at times hurling stones at police people only kind of highlights their intention. And yes, we have also seen stones literally been hurled at police, and over there, the forces are now trying to get inside this very arterial road and trying to ensure that the traffic can be normalized as soon as possible because of the protesters and the road being under their siege. We have seen, the traffic movement had come to a standstill. several people who are coming from outside, and they had gotten down at Howrah station. For them, it is okay. Over there, tear gas shells are now being fired. Tear gas shells are now being fired. Disperse the crowd. All right. Forces are now trying to go inside, and as you see, forces are trying to go inside, respond to the stones being hurled, and over there, tear gas shells have now been fired. So this situation here is far from being over. As for the past several hours, the protesters have tried, moving towards the road, which is blocked from any further progress towards the state side. The crowd has now been pushed into the lanes. Tear gas shells are being fired out here in this very lane. The forces are trying to clear out the crowd from all sides and clear out traffic. It's a very congested area while you to see crowd now, but then there are multiple lanes and by lanes which make this entire place a little tricky when it comes to domination. While forces have tried dominating the main junction, but then from the lanes and by lanes, people had assembled and from all directions charging on the forces. So obviously, this is Foreshore Road, and this road too, in a way, goes to the state secretariat. After a point, it has been cut off. We are also getting visuals. I'll ask my producer Orko in case we have visuals from Strand Road and also from Fort William area. Kindly visuals. So in Fort William area too, roughly about roughly about 1,000-2,000 people had assembled, and those people had also in a way tried going ahead. Of course, they were not allowed, and their advance was thwarted by forces, and soon after that, tear gas were fired, water cannons were charged up, and this has almost been a scene quite common all across, be it in Howrah or Kolkata. In Kolkata, multiple areas where the rallies had come out. Again, I do see people are coming out and seeing forces. They have gone inside, and so this particular road, which is a foreshore road, that road leading to the junction had seen multiple instances of stones being hurled. Just to give you a sense, this was hurled just a short while back. We were right here when a stone of this kind was hurled. Pieces of bricks have been hurled at police people, and combat forces have tried responding to the situation by firing tear gas shells. So the road leading to that very junction, which had erupted just a short while back, is once again under control. We have been seeing such incidents of sporadic violence uh, as and when people have been stopped from moving any further ahead towards Navano. A protest call given by Paschim Bongo Chhatra Sanghath, claiming themselves to be a political and organization, but certainly BJP has openly given them the backing, claiming that they are a student body and they can be supported, while left affiliated student bodies have distanced themselves from the Paschim Bongo Chhatra Chhatra Samaj. There are several allegations against them that they have allegiance to BJP, ABVP, and also supported by RSS. In fact, the organizers themselves have openly admitted to their alliance with RSS. However, they have said this is a students' protest, and at a time as sensitive as this, they have responded. They have responded to the cause by just being a human being. That's their defense. But the state administration had been maintaining that there is a concerted effort to foment violence, in a way capitalizing, quote unquote, on this very horrific incident of brutal rape and murder. 31-year-old Archie Kaur medical student. As you come here, you literally get to smell the tear gas which has been fired out here to disperse the crowd. The police people are once again trying to assert their dominance out here by ensuring the entire junction, which is a center point, in a way, remains sanitized. Roads from all sides are now being cordoned off, And out there, as you see, barricades which are there are also supported by water cannon. So for a situation if unfolds as untoward, the water cannon would be fired at the protesters. There are multiple visuals here. I'm sure you are playing visuals from Kolkata, visuals from. It all started with Shatragachi, then Moidan, then Foreshore Road in Howrah, then also parts of Kolkata like MG Road, Fort Williams, Strand Road, Howrah Bridge. All these places have erupted in kind of ugly confrontation, I would say. And there had been a common pattern, which you have witnessed in Foreshore, in Moidan, and also in Shatragachi, that stones have been hurled. Now, while we have seen ourselves these three areas, we can confirm that stones have been hurled. We are also getting reports of similar kind, that stones have been hurled at police even in parts of Kolkata. Well, we have not been there. We'll be confirming that till we get some videos. But at this point in time, what you get to see out here at Foreshore Road, there are multiple layers of barricading which have been put up. Multiple layers of barricading have been installed just to ensure that the protesters can be kept at bay. From there, the protesters who were to advance, they had been pushed back once again. And just a short while back, stones were hurled at this very area. In fact, you can see there are telltale signs of the stones which have been thrown at the at the police people, at the forces. A crowd which had, in a way, sneaked inside this very lane. Crowd which has gone inside. All of a sudden, they had tried throwing pieces of bricks and stones at the forces, and we also saw two police people have sustained injury out here. They have been rushed out of the situation. But then, just to give you a sense of the ground, and if I can ask my video journalist Shuman Gupta to give you a sense of the road, could also give you a telltale sign of the violence that had unfolded out here, the kind of the kind of violence that we witnessed just a short while back as protesters had tried hurling stones. Multiple stones have been hurled out here. Multiple stones have been hurled at forces, even from distance. And all the people that see holding up there, many of them had been part of this protest as they tried coming closer to the junction and in a way dared the forces. So over here, as you come here closer, you get to see that people from either side had come out on the street, and such bricks have been hurled. These bricks have been hurled at the forces, and these bricks have been hurled. Now, where did they come from? We not really know, but then there seems to be a pattern. There seems to be a pattern, and at least in 2-3 places we have noticed that such bricks have been thrown at the security forces, at police people, and that in a way is leading the confrontation. So out there, all these crowds see here holding up. Let me see if I can get closer to them and try and talk to them. Let me see if I can get closer to them. So these people are still holding up, and let me see. Let me just see if I can talk to a couple of them. भैया लोग आप लोग गए थे प्रोटेस्ट में? आप लोग गए थे इधर पे? हाँ, गए थे प्रोटेस्ट में? फिर तो खड़े हैं। अच्छा, आप लोग गए थे? अच्छा, आप लोग से मांग लेके आप लोग गए, आप लोग तो आगे नहीं थे, आप पहले?
नहीं, आगे तो लाठी चार्ज आंसू गैस मारा पूरा।
हाँ,
सब पब्लिक लोग
ये पत्थर कौन फेंका?
पत्थर वही पुलिस से भी गए, सब पत्थर
अच्छा, और आप लोग अभी इधर पे, आप लोग अभी रुक जाएंगे इधर पे? ये साइड भैया
अपनी बांग्ला बोलना है मुझसे।
हाँ, there are saying that they are hurt and injured. The crowd out here. आराम से शांत रखिए, मैं जा रहा हूँ. Okay, somebody is hurt out here. Somebody is hurt. आराम से. दादा আপনার নাম কি?
আমার নাম প্রশান্ত পাই।
সম্পাই। আপনাকে ডাক্তারের কাছে নিয়ে যাবেন না?
নিয়ে যাচ্ছি, তুলে এখন তো সবাই তো একটু বন্ধ দিলাম। আর ভাই রুক যা ভাই।
আপনারা एक सेकंड को पहले हॉस्पिटल में लेके जाइए। आप लोग एक बार इनको लेके जाइए। पहले उनको टोटो में लेके जाइए, उनके ऊपर पहले उनको टोटो डॉक्टर के पास लेके जाइए।
आराम से
आराम से आराम से आराम से कहाँ पे अस्पताल नियर बाय आराम से आराम से आराम से आराम से somebody is injured and he is now been injured, is being rushed to a hospital. Somebody is hurt and he's now been rushed to a hospital. This is Howrah Postal Road and has now been taken to a Howrah Government Hospital out here. He is hurt. He just can't walk. He had been lifted in his arms and now been taken to the hospital. So out here, as I said, there had been an ugly confrontation, and the crowd which had assembled had stayed gathered out here for some time. But just a short while back, we saw uh, they literally, there had been a situation where stones were hurled, bricks were hurled at the security people, and thereafter, uh, police people had fired tear gas shells and even tried crossing the crowd. These are the lanes and by-lanes which actually make this place extremely tricky. That people from all sides have ample space to just kind of sneak out and assemble out here. And police are trying to ensure that while they are exerting their dominance at the junction, the other areas are also safe and sanitized, which I guess it has not been the case, because just a short while back, this is what unfolded out here, with stones being hurled, bricks being hurled, and thereafter tear gas shell has been fired. A person is also injured. He has now been rushed to a hospital, nearby hospital, and at this point in time, at this point in time, at this point in time, we get to see. At this point in time, we get to see that while the crowd has been pushed behind, but the forces are still not taking any chance. They're waiting for the situation to calm down and tempers to calm down before they can leave this area. If Titash is there, Titash, you're still there in Moidan. What's the scene like? Is the crowd still there? We are literally cut off from Kolkata because both the arterial bridges, which is Howrah Bridge and also Vidyasagar Setu, completely blocked from either side, so we can't really go that side. We are trying to source out visuals as much as we can from Kolkata, as there had been instances of ugly clashes. But what's the scene in Moidan, Titash? Have tempers come down? Are things under control?
So the things are somewhat under control over here, Kumar, because the crowd, which had swelled up immensely in the middle, has now slowly and eventually been pushed out by the police to the main road. The crowd which had gathered, the crowd of protesters which had gathered over here, has now considerably slimmed down, and now just a few of them remain, as the police are here now. They are slowly but surely pushing them out of the Howrah Maidan lane, the lane which was previously absolutely blocked and there was no movement whatsoever. The police are slowly pushing the crowds out. The police, through dialogue and deliberation with the crowds present over here, are slowly pushing the crowds out. And the crowds which are gathered over here has slimmed down considerably. Just a while back, we saw that the protesters who had gathered over here at the Howrah Maidan area had pelted huge hunks of stone at the forces, and the protest had turned hairy and it had definitely slipped out of hands. So the police had resorted to firing tear gas shells and using the water cannon. But eventually, what has happened is, through the course of the last 45 minutes to an hour, the police has slowly pushed out the crowd from the lanes and the by-lanes of the Howrah Maidan area now towards the main road. This happens to be the Howrah metro station. They have slowly but mostly importantly have pushed out the crowd in the confrontation that broke out between the forces as well as the protesters. There were many police officers and people of the forces who were injured. At the same time, protesters were also injured. The police forces, it was caught on camera that at least three of them were caught on camera. One's head he had hurt his head and he was bleeding profusely. One had a battered lip and one had hurt his knee terribly. And there were the forces, people who were injured, who bore the brunt of the tear gas, and the protesters at the same time. There were many protesters who had fallen ill as a result of the tear gas, the incessant tear gas shell firing. Because, like I mentioned, the situation Like I mentioned, the situation had gone awry, and the police had resorted to firing tear gas shells one after another. So as the situation turned awry, many of the protesters, as who bore the brunt of the tear gas shells, fell sick. The police also helped the protesters to move towards the hospitals. As you see, a part of the force is standing in front of the lane who have guarded, completely cleared the lane off for now. And this part of the protest, which they have now come out here on the main road and are sitting down on the road, this is just a part, that is just almost one fourth of the entirety of the crowd which have gathered over here. The police here are now engaging in dialogue and talking to the talking to the protesters and asking them to move out eventually, and requesting them to move out eventually. And like you can see, excuse me, sorry, to Soru eventually. So we are moving in, as you can see, that the protesters are over here. On one side, it's the police, and on one side. They're trying to hold, deliberation. So such is the situation over here at the house. Although the mass or the protesters who had gathered here considerably slimmed down, and tear gas shelling has stopped. It was to stop. There was a point where there was incessant tear gas shells one after another, and there were water cannons being used. But now all of that has stopped. The lane which was absolutely cordoned out by the police, one barricade after the other, has been cleared out by the forces. Now, just a portion of the crowd still remains that the police are now attempting to move out of the road and eventually clear the road and disperse the crowd of the protesters who had gathered here for the Novannu Chalo Abhijan March. Okay, so at the moment they are holding flags, they are holding posters and banners. Some parts of the protesters are over here. Majority of them have moved out, and you can see that they are holding posters over here, which says okay, this happens to be a older poster, but posters all pertaining to the brutal death, rape, and murder of the 31-year-old PGT doctor of Kolkata's Archicor Medical College and Hospital. Now, the demand has been very clear. The demand has been that of justice. That has been the centrifugal demand. But having said that, there was another parallel demand which was running in these protests, which is the resignation of West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. This particular protest march, the Novannu Abhijan March, was organized by the Pashchim Bengal Chhatro Porishad, which essentially means the student body of West Bengal, who said that it is an apolitical march and apolitical rally towards the state secretariat, which is the Novannu building, demanding justice. But having said that, leaders of the BJP, such as Bengal Assembly Leader of Opposition Shubhendu Adhikari, as well as Balughat MP and BJP Bengal President Sukanta Majumdar, had backed up this rally, saying that although it is an apolitical rally, they do stand by the causes that this particular rally is advocating for. The left-wing student organizations such as SFI, DYFI, ISA, and other left-wing student organizations at the very onset had distanced themselves from this particular rally. They said that this particular rally does, although they claim it is apolitical, it does bear political connotations, as a result of which they had distanced themselves from the rally and issued an official statement. DYFI leader Meenakshi Mukherjee, she issued a statement where she said that she or any of her political party leaders or any of their comrades are not a part of this rally and they have distanced themselves. At the same time, protesting doctors who had set up a protest at the Medical College, Calcutta Medical College, as well as Archicor Medical College and Hospital, have also issued official statements stating that they have distanced themselves from this particular rally, as they say it bears political connotations. And this rally over here essentially has gathered here, and by the looks of it, it looks like it has dwindled down to its very last stage. Just a few of the people are remaining over here, and after that, the rally is going to move out. And we are just still trying to deliberate with the police, deliberate with the police. Sir, আপনি কোন কলেজ থেকে এসেছেন?
হ্যাঁ,
কোন কলেজ থেকে এসেছেন?
আমরা হরিপাল কলেজ থেকে এসেছি, হুগলি জেলা।
আচ্ছা,
হুগলি জেলা হরিপাল কলেজ থেকে এসেছি।
আপনারা এখানে কি মিছিলে চলে
আমার যে এইভাবে যে অত্যাচার চলছে, মহিলার উপর অত্যাচার করেছে, তার বিরোধিতা করতে এসেছি। যে
আপনারা কি ওখান থেকে অ্যাজ আ ইউনিট বা একসাথে এসেছেন?
হ্যাঁ, একসঙ্গে এসেছি।
এখানে তো অনেকে বলছে যে এই মিছিলটা নাকি পলিটিক্যালি মোটিভেটেড।
পলিটিক্যালি না, আমরা কোনো পলিটিক্যালি রং লাগাইনি এবং লাগতে দেবো না। আমরা নলপাড়ির পলিটিক্যাল লোক, আমাদের পলিটিক্যালি কোনো ব্যাপার নেই। হরিপাল কলেজ, হুগলি জেলা, হরিপাল, হুগলি জেলা, আরামবাগ জেলা। হ্যাঁ,
Which year are you in?
বুঝতে পারছি না।
কোন ইয়ারে পড়েন? কোন
First year.
First year.
Yes.
First subject?
আপনার ইয়েতে পড়ছে ফুল সাবজেক্ট, বুঝতে পারলাম না, বলুন।
কোন সাবজেক্ট পড়েন?
ক্যাজুয়ালি ডক্টরস লাইন পড়ছি, মেডিকেল কলেজ।
And this is the first year, and along with all the other protesters, you can see the police have already, in this last bout at the very fag end of this rally, the police are trying to push out you can see the police the last end of the rally has been removed, and you can see that there is a bit of confrontation that has broken out over here between the forces and the police, and there's a little chip that is going
All right.
on over
So
here.
thank you, Titash. Just to take it from her, out here, the forces are very much present out here.
By the police itself, and currently the mass has been pushed out, and we are moving forward. As we move forward, you see that the scuffle between the police as well as that of the protesters is only intensified, and the police has been able to push off the last end, the fag end of the crowd that had come down over here at the Howrah Maidan area. So there was a bit of a confrontation, but then the last end of the rally has also been broken. The people who had gathered over here have now vacated this area, and this place has now been emptied or vacated by the police at the moment. So this particular place, which had been cordoned off absolutely by the police, has been vacated, and the protesters who had gathered here have been moved out of this lane, and the situation at the moment here is somewhat close to there has been some semblance of normalcy, but you can see over here that confrontation, there's like a slight confrontation between the forces and the protesters over here, and it is ongoing, and the police are now clearly, slowly but surely, dispersing the little pockets of crowds that are here, and essentially they have managed to vacate this place. And you see that this particular lane, which they had absolutely cordoned off prior to the Novanno Cholo Abhijan, has now been empty. So the situation here at the Howrah Maidan area has somewhat come close to restore normalcy or getting back to track or opening up the shops and things like that. But the crowd of the protesters has been vacated by the police.
Well, that's right. Thank you, Titash. Thank you. Out here, just to give you a roundup as what has unfolded through the day. We would, of course, be doing a comprehensive broadcast in the evening to do a roundup of how the day has been, as almost a collage of the day. But then out here, before we wind up, I'm reporting from road, which is again in Howrah. Titash is there in Moidan, Shatragachi, Foreshore Road. In parts of Howrah, it had witnessed ugly confrontation, but then all three places also share one thing in common, that is stones were pelted, bricks were pelted. How did the bricks come, stones come? That's again something, a matter of fun, and should be a matter of investigation as well. The protest call which was given by Paschim Bongo Chhatra Samaj, they had said this would be a peaceful demonstration, but then it did not stay peaceful at least in these 3 points. We have also seen ugly confrontation in parts of Kolkata, be it Strand Road, be it Howrah, be it Fourth Wheeling area where the barricades have been dared by the protesters and they wanted to go march ahead towards Nobanno, the secretariat. To give you a roundup, today is 27th of August 2024, exactly 19 days since the barbaric rape and murder of the 31-year-old Archicor medical student. She was brutalized on 9th of August inside Archicor Medical College premises, and that incident had stoked massive anger as an emotion in people demanding justice. But then we have also seen, how protests that had spilled onto the streets had so far stayed peaceful. But 19 later today, as the protest march call was given for Nobanno, the state secretariat, which is definitely a highly secured zone, which comes under section 163 of BNSS, the new law which has replaced the previous 144, essentially prohibiting assembly and gathering of more than people, not allowing any demonstration in and around the state secretariat, as is the rule elsewhere as well. But then the protest call given by the Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, claiming themselves to be an apolitical body, has also witnessed ugly clashes and confrontation. We have also seen reports where we have seen ourselves, police people having sustained injuries, journalists have sustained injuries, protesters have sustained injuries. So it has been quite it has been quite a chaotic day, so to say. The Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, while distancing themselves from a political back, but then they are under the scanner given the fact the state is on record with the police, with the ADG coming on record and saying that there is a sinister plan to foment trouble and create tension, and also in a way create a situation where it would be untoward in means. We also know, as a matter of fact, if we can actually quickly play that visual, Orko, if you have that visual ready, of the CCTV footage of Hyatt as a hotel, where police people have released that yesterday, in fact, the people who had given this call for protest as a march to Nobanno, the people who had given this call and who had held the press conference yesterday evening, in fact, they all were seen entering into a Hyatt, Hyatt at around 11 o'clock in the morning, and the police people had used as a clinching evidence, indicating that they have had a meeting with a political personality, not revealing the name of the political leader. So the very fact that the CCTV footage is out in public domain now, and if you're playing that visual of the CCTV footage of Hyatt, which clearly shows that the organized people who had given this call on behalf of Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, at least four of them could be seen entering into Hyatt. They have not been able to give a convincing answer as why did they go there, even to their defense after the allegation came to fore. Sorry, I come again, Suprav. Okay, now after BJP as a political party which had backed this very protest call given by Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, even while saying that they do not belong to any political party, but BJP is the only political party which has openly given complete support to. They said they would be coming down, as and support the protest. We did not really see, at least in 2 3 places that we have tried covering, we have not really seen political flags. But then we have to now wait and see whether police investigation would reveal anything. Police investigation would reveal anything. But at this point in time, what you can confirm, BJP has given a call for a 12-hour bandh tomorrow. Now, in protest against the violence or the clashes that erupted today, in protest of that, BJP has given out a call for a 12-hour bandh in Bengal tomorrow. Now, we know, as a matter of, again, the state does not approve of any bandh, and whether the state would allow this bandh to happen or not, again, we have to wait and see. But tomorrow, a bandh call has been given by BJP for 12 hours in protest against what really happened. Now, coming back to Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, at least four members of Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj who had held a press conference yesterday, who had been leading the organization, who had come at the forefront and has claimed ownership of a Paschim Bango Chhatro Samaj, an organization which has come up Very recently, they were seen entering inside Hyatt. The CCTV visual of the Hyatt entrance gate is there, and police are claiming that is a clinching evidence, according to them, suggesting that they have had a meeting with a political personality. So far, there is no such proof of they having a meeting with a political personality, though no such picture or a video as an evidence in public domain. But then, as far as Paschim Bango Chhatra Samaj, as they met the press yesterday, they had said their protest would be a peaceful protest, but they want to march towards Nabarno to mark their resistance and protest against the state government, and also demanding resignation of the chief minister over the issue of Arjikor medical college students brutal rape and murder. Mind it, it has been 19 days. The case is with I, and of course, Supreme Court has intervened. Supreme Court has urged all the doctors to come back to their duties. At the same time, has also requested the state government, or rather directed the state government, that the state should not unleash its power on peaceful protest. But then, if there is a situation, the Supreme Court's observation will not be injunctionary and coming in the way of states attempt to maintain law and order. So you have a case which is with the CBI. We have we know Supreme Court is involved in this matter. Calcutta High Court had passed on the order and given this entire investment from Kolkata Police to CBI, but then the protest had not really been abated in the past 19 days. Today, we had seen Paschim Bango Chhatra Samaj, an organization that has claimed themselves to be apolitical, an organization. They have they had given a call for a protest march to Rabarno. Of course, that was not allowed, and at every point we're not allowed to advance any further. There had happened ugly confrontation and, of course, ugly clashes. There had been reports of clashes which have come from Kolkata's Strand Road, Fort William, MG Road, and of course near Princip Ghat. These four areas we have seen report of violence. As far as Howrah is concerned, we have seen in Howrah there had been ugly clashes and confrontation in Chatragachi. Chatragachi, mind it, is the place where we were reporting from first, and of course the first instance of confrontation and stone pelting happened at Chatragachi. Before we wind up, as I said, at least in Foreshore Road, in Chatragachi and Moidan, there is a common connect, and the common connect is there had been stones pelted at security forces, at police. While the protesters did come with posters and banners, mostly holding Indian flags and without political party flag. However, we had seen at times where the security people had stopped them from advancing any further. Stone pelting had happened, and that has almost acted as a trigger, something which is commonly shared between three instances and three positions in Howrah, be it Strand Road, Moidan, or Foreshore Road. We have seen stone pelting near Fort William as well, and in all cases, police had resorted to tear gas shell firing to disperse the crowd. Mild lathi charge has also happened, but police had mostly resorted to water cannon firing and tear gas shell firing to disperse the crowd. So, as I said, it has been a very long and of course, since morning we had seen sporadic instances of protest emerging in parts of Kolkata, but then as they assembled near College Square and then moved towards the state secretariat at multiple places, they were stopped and they were not allowed. Before we wind up this broadcast, as you see, there had been massive police bandobast in all areas, and nobody had been allowed to go closer to the state secretariat. And of course, the state secretariat had stayed out of bounds of the protesters. The protest call was given by the protest call was given by Paschim Bango Chhatra Samaj. We do see senior police officials have come down out here, and of course, uh, they are trying to assess the situation before the roads could be opened up. In fact, it is a matter of concern for all commuters who are coming down and had taken a train to Howrah. From there, they are completely disconnected now because Howrah and Kolkata have three bridges connecting them. You have one Nivedita Setu, which is very far off. You have Howrah Bridge and second Hooghly Bridge, also known as Vidyasagar Setu. These two bridges very close to the state secretariat, in close proximity, and the areas in close proximity of these two bridges have been completely cordoned off, out of bounds of protesters to take. So in a way, it has also disconnected Howrah from Kolkata and Kolkata from Howrah. So many commuters who have come across, who had come down to Howrah, they have had a very hard time to kind of get back to their destination or go ahead with to their destination, because the roads are completely cut off. There had been massive barricading arranged, massive bandobast done by police to ensure the protesters do not make any they do not get to advance towards its state secretariat. So far, we have not really come up a single instance where protesters have managed to go close to the secretariat. No, that has not really happened. Every entry to the state secretariat from all sides have been blocked. It almost became like a fortress. Areas around this state secretariat and roads primarily leading to the state secretariat were completely under the of the police people, where massive barricading had been done. And of course, water cannons were also stationed. Water cannon had been fired, tear gas shells have been fired at crowd, a crowd which had also resorted to stone pelting at security people. Just a short while back, we also came across an instance where police people were abused left, right, center. We cannot really play that visual for the sake of decency, for the sake of language issue. But then we also saw soon after that, stones were pelted, and that, as I had said, had almost acted as a common trigger in all places where a stone pelting happened, and thereafter forces had to resort to tear gas shell firing and also water cannon firing. No, there had been protesters who have also sustained injuries. There are police people who have sustained injuries. There are journalists who have sustained injuries, and as we say, it has been a long day for one and all, and it all revolves around the horrific, brutal rape and murder of the 31-year-old GT, postgraduate trainee doctor of RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. A horrific incident which happened on 9th of August, and thereafter we have seen protest after protest demanding justice. There are some of the protests which have also demanded resignation of the state government, resignation of the chief minister, demanding accountability. But then state had been maintaining in its defense that the case has now been handed over to CBI. They had done their part. While the case was with Kolkata police, the prime accused has been arrested. And even after the matter being given to CBI in the past fortnight and more, no fresh arrests had happened. And where is the investigation headed? It's something the state government is questioning. The state government and Trinamool Congress had been maintaining that this is nothing but an attempt of BJP and opposition parties like left to kind of fish in the muddy water, as they have been saying, quote unquote, and they have been saying that they are trying to capitalize on this brutal crime. However, the opposition parties had been demanding accountability. They had been saying that an incident of this kind has happened, and thereafter, according to them, the allegations are uh, that evidences have been tampered, and maybe that is the reason why CBI is not being able to reach to any kind of a closure. So while the political blame game is there on one side, on the other hand, you also have the demand for justice, the call for justice, which is only louder. Once again, I reiterate, it's been 19 days since the horrific crime, and thereafter, the demand for justice had only grown louder, louder, and louder. At this juncture, this is how Foreshore Road looks like. My colleague Titash, Ronnie, they have been reporting since morning. Shumon is here with me. Orkuprav, they have been handling the PCR. We have tried keeping our close tab on the situation on the ground. But as we assure you, we will come back to our live in the evening and to give you a comprehensive roundup of things that happened, how it unfolded, and where things stand as tempers have come down. For now, we say a goodbye. Thank you so much, Titash, Orko, Suprav, and Shuman. Thank you for watching this live broadcast.